Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1074 of One Piece, Mark 3. So, this was a pretty good chapter. It was a setup chapter. I have a love-hate relationship with setup chapters. We'll get into that into the review. But I just gotta say, shout out to you guys really going ham and like releasing these chapters early. I was like at work and I'm just doing my normal stuff or I'm just checking like Reddit, Facebook, YouTube and stuff, just bullshitting. And then I see that like people are doing live reactions to 1074 and I was like, are you kidding me? Is it out already? I checked my standard website, TCB scans, OnePieceChapters.com, and like they didn't have it up. So I was really confused. Now there's some other scanlation people out here and they're posting things earlier. So I don't know. Maybe we're gonna start seeing competition between the fan scans and trying to get the content out quicker and whatnot. I really do hope that the people I read it from, they are as dedicated and as well ept in their translations as TCB. I really love TCB, how they do their stuff. But yeah, man. So I guess this review's coming out early. Anyway, if this is your first time on this channel or you've been here before but haven't done so already, would greatly appreciate if you could do your boy a solid. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bang that bell. Help a homie out. Would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into the review. All right, chapter 1074 of One Piece, Mark 3. So we start off with the cover story, and we have Judge, we have Caesar, and we have Queen all fighting for some reason, all using various weapons or their own fists. And the caption just says, three war-torn men, right? Don't know why they're fighting. We can maybe assume maybe somebody said they're smarter than the other one, their invention's better, they disagree with each other. I'm sure we'll find out later in the other cover story, or we won't, but pretty interesting cover story. I'm very intrigued as to what's going on, what instigated this like kerfuffle between them, right? So chapter 1074 overall was a pretty chill chapter. Not gonna lie, I feel a type of way about when Oda has us going like guns blazing and then these setup chapters come. I have a love-hate relationship with setup chapters. I love setup chapters because they are the reason that the like amazing hype chapters are so hype and hit so hard is because they were set up well. Setup chapters are a necessity to good storytelling. You can't have all hype all the time. It can't always be at 1,000. You have to bring it down to bring it back up again, right? And that is perfectly an example of what we're getting right now, where we don't get the most in this chapter. We don't get major reveals. We get a trinkle. We get a tidbit of some things here or there. But as a whole, this chapter was very meh. And when I say meh, I don't mean meh boring or was poorly written. Just there's so much I want to find out and so much I want to get to. And for this to be the chapter, like, ah, ah, like he set up so many things in the last two chapters and that we're just waiting to get to. And he's like, you could just keep waiting. And I'm like, oh my God, Oda. So like, I just wanted to get that out. I don't necessarily have an issue with this chapter. I think it's a great chapter. I think we're getting hit after hit after hit. But I do notice this is a noticeably slower chapter, less reveals or less, I don't want pertinent reveals. Is that the word I'm looking for? But yeah. So anyway, chapter starts and we have these pacifista, complete different clothes than we've seen before, attacking CP what's it called? CP0. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was super confused at first. I was like, wait, where are we right now? Are we at Mary Joie? Are the other I'm not gonna lie to you, for the first like page or two of this chapter, I thought we were at Mary Joie and that Kuma some way somehow was able to like hack or gain access to the other pacifistas that are at Mary Joie, because there are other pacifistas, right? And so I was like, is this just some big giant like rebellion? But no, we are still at Egghead Island, and it was none other than Sentomaru that released all 50 Mark III Pacifista. Now, I'm trying to remember. Please let me know in the comments. I'm trying to remember if we were ever introduced to them before or if this is their debut. Because for the life of me, my brain's playing tricks on me, and I'm trying to remember if after the time skip, the Pacifista that we saw at Saboti were the exact same Pacifista. Because part of me is like, I think they were the exact same because then we could get the contrast between how much stronger Luffy was. But I swear to God that there were Pacifistas that we saw post Saboti that were like quote unquote stronger models. And apparently the Mark IIs, because I checked the One Piece wiki, the Mark IIs are the Seraphim. So there are the Seraphim Pacifista Mark II and the Mark III Pacifista. So I think the Seraphim are just Pacifista that are all modeled and based on the Shichibukai, and then you have the Mark III, which I think are just refined, better, upgraded versions of the original Mark I Pacifista, right? And so basically, from what I can get from reading from this, they're slightly bigger, they're probably faster, they're definitely stronger, definitely tankier, and they now have a bubble shield, right? And when I saw the bubble shield, I was freaking out and I was like, oh my God, who in the series has a bubble devil fruit? Where did they get that power from? Is it like bubbles from the soap fruit that we had? You know, what's her name? Khalifa? Is it Khalifa? I think it's Khalifa. Whatever her name was, the one that Nami fought, who had the soap powers or whatever. I thought, okay, is it her? We have CP0 here. She used to be on CP9. Maybe there's some correlation, right? So that's immediately the first thing I went to, and then I was like, wait a minute. What if he used the special resin from the Sabaody mangrove trees, right? So as you know, in order to go into Fishman Island, in order to take your ship and all that and breathe and survive the water pressure and all that, you have to have your ship coated. It has to undergo a coating process, and it has to be done by a coating mechanic or by a bubble craftsman, right? And so what they do is they take this material that is produced by the mangrove tree, and you know the special resin that stores air and stuff, coats your ship with it so that not only can you travel underwater, you can breathe and what have you, right? And we also know that the bubbles are extremely durable, as is evident when, you know, Luffy was using one bubble to fight in and he's launching all these attacks and he's getting all these attacks and the bubble didn't damage. So we do know that these bubbles are sturdy. However, they are still, even though they are sturdy, they're also permeable. So they can be like, you can go through them. So I'm very curious how this specifically is working. But apparently these bubbles have really strong durability because this dude fired a point blank rocket launcher at the Mark III Kuma Pacifista, and it was just able to tank it with that bubble. So that was super impressive. Now we get back to the Lavosphere where, you know, the satellites and the Straw Hats are all hanging out and chilling, and we see Luffy and he is dog tired. He's sitting on the couch, tongue out, looking like he's about to pass out, and he says he's just tired. He's been running and I'm really confused because we've known Luffy for a really long time, and he's always running. He's always constantly running from island to island. I've never seen him purely tired simply from running. There was that time where he spent the entire like whole cake fight with Katakuri running around, dodging from like mirror to mirror. Like he's been in situations where his cardio has been pushed to limits before. So I was really confused. Like, are you tired from running, or is this some kind of, you know, backlash, snapback from Gear 5 that we're learning about? So I really do think that there is more than meets the eye with it. Anyway, while he's, you know, dying on the couch, everyone is looking for Vegapunk because literally, like, we're trying to leave Egghead Island. Like, we're trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. So where is the like number one dude that we need to leave? Like the main person we are here to rescue and save and leave with is Vegapunk. So where the hell is this man? And because of all the things that have been going on with the with these Frontier Dome, and like I think they had a power outage and whatnot, and like, you know, all the like the fighting happening, you know, the surveillance is used by Denden Mushi. And so instead of it being like, you know, things shorted out or got cut out, they got knocked unconscious because Denden Mushi are living organisms. So that's once again just another really cool world building thing that Oda does. Just something really cool to like think about, and is good to write into the story and like be a legitimate like thing that's happening. And so numerous Denden Mushi are offline, and conveniently whatever one is probably in front of the paw room is offline, so they don't know that that is where Vegapunk and Joribani are. I'm a little bit confused though, because you would think that there would be some kind of way, shape, or form in which the satellites would know where each of them are, and like where their master, quote unquote, their original is. You think like it's like twins, right? You think they would feel each other or something like that. So I found that to be really interesting. Also because maybe when they touch the memory paw bubble of Kuma, like their soul or their will, whatever, like whatever disappeared from Luffy when we thought he died, goes into the paw. And so maybe even though they can normally find Vegapunk and stuff like that, in this moment they couldn't because his presence or what his life force or whatever was missing. I'm just spitballing. I'm just speculating. I have no goddamn clue. I'm just shooting shooting shit and seeing what sticks to the wall. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Speaking of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, I had a theory the other day. It wasn't a real theory. It was like a little crackpot, like 5-10 second theory. And I was thinking to myself, hey, everyone thinks that Emu used an ancient weapon to destroy Leloucia, right? And I thought to myself, what if we could fuse every theory that's been happening right now, and that Emu backwards is Umi, which means wave, and a lot of people think he has something to do with the sea. He has a water devil fruit or a mythical Zoan that's related to water. Recently, Morge released a video that says he has the god devil fruit. It's possible. Can't put anything past anything at this point when it comes to One Piece. But I thought to myself, maybe instead of it being an ancient weapon that we saw, maybe him used a devil fruit, and the devil fruit he has is actually a water, the Mizu Mizu no Mi, or some mythical zone that does have control over water, maybe like Mother Earth, maybe Mother Sea, some BS, you know what I'm saying, water god, what have you. And he creates these giant convex or concave? I forget. Let's say convex lenses that channel the energy of the sun into a single point and create these incredible doomsday, hammer of dawn, halo-esque like lasers that pelt down on the island. Now my only thing is I feel like they would do like more burning, searing damage than like explosive. Like it looked like Leloucia got like bombed, like laser artillery, like energy beamed, less more so than like like I pitched it to a one friend, and he said, I get the idea of someone holding like a magnifying glass over ants, which essentially is the point. He thought it was a stupid theory. Another friend of mine thought it was a pretty cool theory, but I just wanted to throw that out in this video because I'm not gonna do like a whole video on it. It's just it's not worth it. But yeah, so I thought, and it would also I also thought it would parallel really well with Enel, because how Skypiea was a microcosm of the entire series, or that's what we've been led to believe. I was thinking, how Enel could, smite people anywhere on Skypiea from wherever he was, because he could use his observation hockey that was channeled through his Devil Fruit ability to hear who was talking shit about him, and then be able to send, lightning where it needed to go. I was thinking maybe this is the same thing, but on a global level, where based upon his abilities or like what he has going on, he's able to just dispatch and smite whatever he wants to, wherever he wants on the planet. Now, there are so many holes in this theory. For one, why is this the first time we saw this? Why isn't it something that can be readily used and available all the time? But hey, it was just something I wanted to throw out. Anyway, while we're on the surveillance cams looking for the Stella body, in enter Stussy, Brook, and Zoro. And can I fucking say, Zoro looks cool as fuck. Now, yes, I am a Zoro fanboy. Like, my top 3 characters in One Piece are Luffy, Zoro, and Law. I know I don't care if that's basic to some people. That's just how it goes. There are also more in there. Like, my top 5, Enel's in there, Ace is in there, shit like that. But yeah, Zoro looks cool. Honestly, it would look cooler in my opinion if he didn't have the jumpsuit. I don't know why jumpsuits are a turnoff to me in anyone but like women. Like so like he looks super weird in this, not super weird. I don't know. He makes the jumpsuit work. He has that fresh fitted jacket. It looks like he's in all black instead of the swords on his belt. He's got them on his back. He looks tough. I rocks with it. Brooks Ensemble looks dope. You can't go wrong with that long flowing coat. That looks fresh. His helmet's a little bit weird, but you know, you got to protect the fro, so I'll let it go. And then Stussy just looks like she is the head madam of the red light. I am not gonna lie. I'm expecting so much backlash from the female readers because and just the pick me guys that are gonna be like, oh my god, sexualization, because Oda really gave two fucks when it came to this came to this arc and dressing up the character, the female character in just like lingerie, essentially. Robin's the worst, but then like you have like Nami and like Joribani and now Stussy just in like shirts and like a thong or bikini. I don't know what's going on, why this is necessary. I mean, I'm with the shits. If this is like the fashion of the future where like women are just always out and like ass out and stuff like that, that's cool. But like, I don't know, Oda, what you trying to say. I'm just saying, Oda, be careful because you're gonna have them coming for you. They're gonna be mad. People already have issues with Sanji and like Brooke asking about panties. So like, I don't know, you pushing the envelope a little bit too much, right? Also, something that was hilarious to me is like, what's the point of them getting changed, right? Because like, yeah, we normally do have, you know, every time we have a different arc, we do get to see the crew in different ensembles, and like that is awesome and like something I do look forward to. But also, it's like we're literally leaving. We're literally like leaving right now. Literally, we're just waiting on Vegapunk, and we're getting the fuck out. We're getting out. So like, what's the point of changing our clothes right now? And I really just think it was so that we could see all the Straw Hats in like Vegapunk future gear. But also it was just really weird to me. We're like, we're leaving. So that was cool. Anyway, a lot of the satellites are already, you know, looking for Vegapunk. So a couple of the Straw Hats decided to go. Susie decides she wants to go because she wants to meet Vegapunk again. Sanji, seeing a bad bitch, is like, I'm gonna go with you. He starts tripping, bugging out. And then Zoro offers to go himself. And then Sanji immediately switches gears from Stussy Sama to being like, hey, yo, we're gonna send this dude. Now we're gonna have to look for Vegapunk and Zoro. And I love this fact because I thought for a second they might just say fuck it, or Zoro would be like, shut up, Moss head, like not Moss head, but like Curly Brow or whatever, and or Shitty Cook, and just like keep going. But like no, like the rest of the crew was like, he brings up a very, very fair point. Yeah, we're not. You can't go, Zoro. So Zoro goes and sits down next to Luffy and gives us the coldest panel of the entire chapter, and it's him and Luffy sitting on this couch, dripped out. Even though Luffy does kind of ruin it by looking like a loser with his tongue out, like ah. And we have Lucci and freaking what's his name, Kaku, just passed out in front of them. It is just a goat tier panel. It is amazing. It's like we nigga, we made it. Look at us, started from the bottom, now we here type shit, right? Where they're just on the couch chilling, and they have these dudes that used to give them mad problems lying on the ground in front of them. It's amazing. Also, I was super confused by this too, but can we talk about how hilarious it is that like explain to me explain to me if this is what's happening, but Kaku and Lucci are pretending to be passed out, or at least Lucci has the lines over his eyes. So I think Lucci is awake and Kaku's still passed out because we don't see his eyes and stuff. But it looks like Lucci is pretending to be unconscious, passed out, because that just seems to be the best course of method right now. Like play dead, and he's just in his head like take I can't believe we read it to you guys again. It takes me back to Water 7. And I wonder how Iceberg, old man Ice, is doing. That's Iceberg, the guy they were working for in the Galley Law, right? And speaking of that, a lot of people were talking about like last chapter and the last two chapters, how like Lucci's defeat and betrayal by Stussy is so fitting after how he betrayed Iceberg. So things have come full circle. So that's something I wanted to mention as well. Like, oh yeah, that wasn't lost on me. So we get into Kuma's memory, and boy, oh boy, am I freaking lost. We see this giant that is Kuma just crying and bawling. And then we see these other dudes, they're shadowed images, and they're just, hey, you bastard, come with us right now. If you run, we'll all be killed. So it kind of you kind of get the impression that either he is abused and he is like the source of like what's the word I'm looking for, relief for everyone else. So like while he's abused they don't get abused, or it's a situation where they want him and he ran away and they're like, hey, if you don't bring him back, we're gonna torture all of you until he comes back, until we find him, something of the sort. And I'm gonna be real with you, and I can be wrong, this is my personal opinion. I didn't like this flashback. Not the flashback itself. I didn't like how short it was. I didn't like how we get kicked out of it. And then it's like, oh my God. Because honestly, with or without the flashback, I still know the exact same stuff. I still have the same exact desires to see the rest of the, like, I would have just preferred if we got the flashback in full. Because I'm going to be real with you. After the goddamn Kaido flashback, I'm not in the mood for shitty flashbacks. Some people are gonna be like, that Kaido flashback wasn't shitty. No, it wasn't really shitty, and we did learn about, like, Kaido's a kid and a little bit of why he is the way he is now, and that like he's been strong since birth, and what shaped his, like, his mentality. Like, don't get me wrong, I totally get that, but that's not what I wanted to know about Kaido. That's not the flashback I wanted from Kaido. I want to know, is he an Oni? I want to know, why does he have trust issues? I want to know, like, who, like, there's so many. It didn't answer anything I wanted to know, and this flashback didn't answer anything I wanted to know. Except it clarified that he doesn't have the bear ears right now. It clarified that he was a giant from the time he was like a kid. So like it verifies some things, but like nothing we didn't already know or assume or was really important. We see some more shadowy figures. One figure looks like a celestial dragon because it has that little, it almost has the little like hair boop thing they have, but their hair boop thing, in my opinion, has that little like circle on the top. This one looks more like squarish, rectangle, not squarish. So I don't really know, cubicle. So anyway, I guess the pain. I guess not only does she experience the memories, but she also experiences the pain that he was feeling, and it's enough that it forces her out the bubble. And she has a quick little dialogue. There's a little parallel again to her actual father climbing the red line, and she's like, "I'm gonna have to bear it. Like that was terrible, but in order to figure out what's going on, in order to figure out your secret, I'm gonna have to go back in." And so we're probably gonna get that next chapter, I hope, unless we go somewhere completely different next chapter, right? So anyway, while we see Pythagoras walking around looking for um Vegapunk, and he hears something, he turns, and there's a massive, massive explosion. What that explosion is, we haven't the fondest. And one thing I do want to bring up is we cannot forget that Caribou is here. I don't know if he's involved in anything going on right now, but I just want to make sure we all realize that there is still another hard factor at play in Egghead that could rear its ugly head at some point, way, shape, or form in the arc. Now, the very last part of the chapter that I am going to talk about is the World Economic News paperhead Morgans. So we run back into Vivi and Wapol. And I was so happy to see her. She looks amazing. I love her character design right now. I love her outfit. It looks amazing. And so they're sitting there, and Morgans, from whatever source he has just found out that the world government is carrying out an assassination attempt on Vegapunk. And like he thinks that it's crazy that they're actually going to kill the world's greatest genius, and he parallels it to the incident of Ohara, and he thinks that the world government is making a huge mistake, especially because when it came to Ohara and Clover, those were recluse, scholars who were doing things, on their own. They didn't really have critical acclaim. They were just basically like librarians and historians, right? But this is Vegapunk, whose inventions and research is used worldwide, globally. He's helped many islands and people, so they all know his name. So this is something that's not going to sit well with the rest of the world, and I'm glad Morgan's brought that up. Something that does bother me though is the fact that he finds out that luckily Luffy is there to help him, but instead of exposing the world government, he makes the title that Straw Hat Luffy has taken Vegapunk hostage and waged war against the Marines. And I was like, what the hell? Like, why would you say that? Because I was under the impression Morgans was trying to break away from the world government. I always got this impression that he was the kind of dude that was this, super journal what's it called? Uh journalism journalistic integrity. Yeah, I thought he was one of those kind of people where he had journalistic integrity, but because the world government wanted to cover things up, hide things, he often was forced to change his headlines, his titles, and like change the actual events that happened, blah blah blah. And I thought that the events of Wano that he leaked were something that were greatly frowned upon by the world government, and that the reason that he's currently in this flying headquarters was so that he can be on the move from the world government, so that he can do what he wants to do, present the news as he wants to do it and see fit. Because I thought he was in the pursuit of like reporting the truth. Like I thought he was like a Lois Lane type reporter with some like JJ like attitude, right? I thought it was that kind of thing. But now he's saying truth doesn't matter, lie doesn't matter, as long as it's entertaining. And I was like, that rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm really hoping this is a translation error, or maybe there's just something I missed, because I'm really really confused. I really did not think that Morgans was this type of person, that he didn't care if whether or not the news he was reporting was real or right, and that like he's still trying to appease the world government. He literally says what did he say? After he makes that headline, he says the government is gonna love me. I want a reward for this. So like that's a little wild to me. Also, why would the world government still humor this type of dude? Why not kill him and then, replace him with someone that's only going to report what they want to report? So I don't know. I'm super lost. If I'm missing something, if you're confused too, please let me know in the comments, because I really want to talk to someone about this, because like I said, it's super confusing. Like so when I saw Vivi and Wapol next, I was like, so where are we? Are we with the world government? Are we with the world nobles? And we're with and not the world nobles, the world government. Or are we with the World Economic Journal? And we're with the World Economic Journal paper, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, wait a minute. So then where does Sabo come in? Because I was like, okay, this seems like something he does. Instead of saying what really happened, he says like a pirate did something. So we were told that Sabo either killed or kidnapped Vivi, right? So I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, but like Sabo is not even anywhere around here. So where are you even getting that, Sabo killed Vivi from? How are you, like, what are you contorting in that lie, right? And on top of that, I'm just like, wait, why are they here? Is Morgans protecting Vivi? Is Morgans protecting Wapol? Is he holding them for the world government? I'm just super lost. Also, why is Wapol even here? Also, why is he introduced as the king of evil Black Drum Kingdom? Because as far as I was concerned, I forget the dude's name, the dude from Drum Island, but like I was under the impression that he became the new like leader of Drum Island. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. Dalton, right? Dalton, right? Hold on. Yeah, Dalton. Dalton, I was under the impression became the new monarch. So then, how is Walpole still? So I thought Walpole was like, first I thought he became a toy manufacturer. Now I thought he produces and manufactures Walpole metal. So anyway, there's just so much happening right now. I gotta get reacquainted with like everything that's been going on in One Piece. Also, he's being paranoid right now because you know, Vivi's complaining. She's like, Luffy would never do such a thing. This is why I don't like the World Economic newspaper. And he's like, watch your voice. There's a spy transponder snail around. If our location gets revealed, the government will erase us. So I'm like, so wait, how do you know that there's a spy transponder snail here? How will her complaining give away your location? Like, shouldn't they be able to track the spy? Like, I am so lost, confused, and kerfuffled. But anyway, this is that's the end. That's the end. I'm just happy that Vivi is back in the picture. I think this is Oda's way of telling us we're about to get more information dumps. This is a great setup. I wouldn't be surprised if next chapter was also a setup chapter. I really hope we get the rest of the flashback next chapter, but I have this nagging suspicion. But definitely an enjoyable chapter, but I am definitely frustrated because I have a thirst for knowledge that needs to be satiated, and Oda is still hasn't gotten to that point. But anyway, let's leave it there for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you thought about this chapter. Let me know what you think about the Mark III Pacifistas. Let me know what you think about the Bubble Shield. Let me know what you think about the Kuma flashback. Maybe I missed stuff. Maybe I'm stupid. Let me know. Maybe there was something I completely overlooked. Do you think I'm over analyzing Luffy being tired? Do you think there's something to it? Also, I've been noticing that a lot of people are having their tongue out recently. I'm wondering if it has any relation with Vegapunk and why he has his tongue out. What do you think is going to happen with Kaku and Lucci? Where's his bird? Um, can't wait to figure out what's gonna happen with Hachinosu. I thought this chapter, honestly, we were gonna get a sneak peek of like what's happening at Hachinosu, but no, we didn't. So, and what do you think Vivi's doing? Why do you think she's here? Was she kidnapped? Was she rescued? Uh, is Morgan's working for the world government? Is he fighting against the world? Like is he playing both sides? Who the hell knows? So many questions. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Otaku Talk. I'm your host OD. Please have a great, well, normally I say have a great weekend because I released chapters on these reviews on Friday, but it's going to come out Thursday today. So just have a great rest of your week and into the weekend, and take care. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe with me, to me. Have have a great rest of the week. Take care. Peace. Bye. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Ooh. Oh, real quick. I just bought the new Hogwarts Legacy game. It's super fun. So I'm playing that on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Nija_nightmare. So if you want to come watch Hogwarts Legacy and also shoot the shit with me about One Piece, One Piece, please come and join me. I will be streaming most weekdays at night, maybe after like 8 or 9 p.m. after I get off work, and I'll try to like stream during the weekends, more in the evening. All right, take care.